Good evening, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Good evening. Good
Hello,
morning.
everyone. How are you all doing? Hope you have had a good couple of weeks.
Yeah, we haven't. Oh, I have anyway. How about you guys? Have you had a good few weeks?
Yeah, it
Had
was
a great
great.
couple of weeks. Yeah.
Benji's had a bit of a hair trim, less of the afro.
Yeah, a bit less of it. I got. I felt like I was kind of in danger with my previous haircut, so I kind of had to.
In danger of looking a little bit too much like Sam Bankman-Fried.
Exactly. Wasn't really at the fashion at the time. So.
Yeah, maybe you should grow a beard or something. That might help.
Yeah, that might help. Yeah, that might help.
Okay, so as you'll see, I'm in a different location. While people come, I'm in a different location. I'm in the Dubai office right now. So, stealing Nick's desk because I don't have a desk yet, but it's nice. Malcolm is also flying out. We have a whole load of the team. Malcolm is flying out to Dubai now. He's sitting in the airport.
As you can see, I'm via Bezoge. I'm going to be going to the airport and then arriving in Dubai tomorrow. So yeah, by next AMA I'll be there definitely, and certainly on the whiteboard session, which I know we didn't have last week, but we're going to have tomorrow. We'll have one on. We'll all be together. Even Zach's going to be out there as well. Maybe not before the whiteboard section, but certainly he's going to be there by tomorrow evening.
Yeah, we might have a bit of a Dubai meetup for all the Bezodians in Dubai. I think there's a lot of people here right now, so maybe we can meet up with everyone. I know there's a lot of holders in Dubai, so we can maybe arrange some sort of small event with everyone. Wait, what? I see people are laughing. There must be some funny comments coming.
That's true.
Yeah, Bitcoin was outside Sam Bankman-Fried's office the other day. Okay, so let's to make it clear, we're going to keep these AMAs a little bit shorter because we've realized that they do go on for a little bit too long, and it can be overwhelming for people that are watching if they see that it's a 2.5 hour video. They decide, a lot of people see 2.5 hours and they think that's too long. I'm not going to even open that. So we're going to try and keep it to 1 hour. As soon as we started 10 minutes late or 15 minutes late, we'll probably go for an hour from now. So that'll be 7:15 Dubai time, which I think is UTC will be, good question, will be 7 minutes, 3 p.m.
Quarter past 3. Yeah. About 3:15.
Yeah. We have a lot to go over, so we'll start off with updates. We've got some exciting stuff regarding Bezoge. I know people have been watching the Certic audit and watching the percentage on a daily basis. So we'll go through that. We also have some really cool game updates. Actually, probably one of the most exciting game updates we've shown in a long time.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of progress from the game side.
Yeah. So let's get started. Let me get the deck up. And also, as we said, I think we'll move over to Twitter Spaces for most AMAs now. But this one will probably be the last in the near future that will be a video stream. The reason that we'll do this, Malcolm, you've got some bad background noise. Do you want to mute yourself? The reason we'll do a stream this week is because we have a deck to share. We have some slides we're going to show. So we'll do this and we'll move over to Twitter Spaces. However, in future, if there's something exciting to share that we need to have some visuals for, we'll do a live stream again. I think that the Twitter Spaces are a lot more interactive. It's easier for people to come up and say hello. So that's the whole point of an AMA. This is meant to be not for us to tell you updates. It's more for you to ask questions. So we will move this over to being a Twitter Space. Okay. So start off with blockchain. I guess the most exciting thing that people are waiting for is Bezoge. So you'll be glad to know that Certic audit just before, I think it was literally about half an hour before this AMA, it went to 99%. It was sitting at 75% earlier. Basically, everything was fine. We're pretty happy with the result of the audit. There was actually a little bit of an issue with Certic's backend. And so that's why it was sitting at 75% for so long. It was actually, we actually provided the new code to them about 2 or 3 days ago. So maybe even longer than that, but there was an issue with their backend where it didn't update the progress. So that's why it's been sitting on 75%. But we submitted the audit. There were a few small changes that they required and recommendations, nothing major. We've made those changes and we're pretty happy with the contracts now. So that was the main thing we were going to talk about at the start of this AMA was, when is Bezoge launching? And everyone wants to know a launch date. We couldn't give a launch date before because we were waiting for the audit. Now that the audit is ready, we can actually give a launch date very soon. We can't give it today because we've literally just received this half an hour before the start of the AMA. But we're gonna, it's #1 priority for us. So as soon as we'll get the contracts pushed, and we will release we'll give a release date, I think probably in the next few days. I mean, I'm pretty confident we can. Malcolm, everyone is flying out to Dubai, so we're going to sit tomorrow and discuss it. We'll actually give a proper launch date for Bezoge. So that will be, certainly, I would say within the next week, we'll definitely give a fixed launch date. And the launch date will also be like a few days after we give the launch date, right? It's not like we're going to tell you, oh, the launch date, and it will be end of December. It will most likely be in like the first week of December. This is to give a very, I'm giving away maybe a little bit too much, but probably in the first week of December, to be honest. Everything is, I mean, everything is good to go now. We just need to double check everything in the final audit to make sure there's nothing we want to change, and it should be good. So we're happy with that. So I think the next slide is also just, final report delivered, and extensive review. So we just have to have a call with Certic to go over everything and make sure we're clear, and we should be good to go. So apologies for the delay, but we wanted to make sure, especially with everything that's going on recently with with hacks and security issues and the things surrounding FTX, we wanted to make sure this was as secure as possible. That's why we went Certic, because we believe Certic are the #1 in the space. And that's why we made every single change that they have recommended. We took on board and basically either fixed it or created a solution for it. Willis is saying he would be pounding the whiskey in there. Once he gets through, I think once he gets through security, he might get a whiskey. He's sitting in a Costa Coffee, I think, right now. He's not really in a whiskey place. Okay, so yeah, and also if anyone wants to keep up to date on the Certic audit, you can go to Certic. The link is there, certic.com/projects/Bezoge #audit. You can also just go to their website and search for Bezoge, and it does come up. So that's certainly available. And quickly to go over, I'm going to make this quite quick, just to go over the features of Bezoge once again, is that they'll be on 3 chains. Malcolm, are we not going to tell them the chains today?
Nope, not today. We were maybe going to tell them the change, but I think people will just have to wait.
Have we already scheduled the post to tell them the change?
We have almost everything ready, but yeah, it's no, we're not going to. Not yet.
Am I not allowed? Am I not allowed?
To keep it streaming. Well, it's on one. We can reveal one of them as E.
But, you can reveal one as E. Okay, great. Yeah, there's some more strategic things going on. All we'll say is there's some strategic things going on with which chains we're choosing. So once you see the chains, we didn't just randomly choose the chains. Let's put it that way. There's a reason for the chains that we're launching on.
You just have to keep an eye on all the socials and on your email for the announcements. But yeah,
I'll tell you, the social announcements I believe are already scheduled. So I don't want to ruin their social announcements by announcing it on here.
Yeah, actually, but everything is ready in terms of the all of the interface, the Bezoge Hub, the portal where you're going to be logging in and using. Everything is kind of ready to go. It's the only thing that was outstanding, which was a little bit out of our control, is the audit. And yeah, that's.
Okay, so to give you an idea, the main things are the multi-chain. So you have much cheaper gas, right? You're being on multi-chain. There's arbitrage opportunities with different pricing. There's also access to. There's access. Sorry, someone's calling me. There's also access to more users. So the user base of these different chains, people that have never been able to buy Bezoge before, will be able to get access through Zoji. On okay, I'm seeing people guessing some chains in the comments. So basically, yeah, it will give people more access, and the arbitrage opportunities between the different chains is also there. So that's the main thing, and allowing people to choose which chain they want to hold on as well, especially with lower gas fees on some of the chains. I know ETH is too expensive for some people. The same thing. The next thing is significantly lower supply. We went through this before, so the supply will be lower than 44 million. In comparison to currently, the supply is 44 quadrillion. Right, so there's a significant difference in the supply, which means the token price will be. Last time we shared this, the price was a little bit higher, I guess, but at the current price, I believe it would be around 50 cents a token. So that's the situation with the supply. So it will increase the price of each token essentially because it will be 1 billion to 1. They're dropping 9 zeros. Low gas fees, like I just said. These other chains, chain A and chain B. Chain B might actually start with the letter B. You never know, guys. You never know. You never know. I see people guessing. And then also, yeah, I said the arbitrage opportunities. So this we've gone through this before, but we just wanted to make it clear. And also we have said in future we are planning some significant things for the Zoji token, like NFT sales, like the IDO. As we've said, there will be allocation given to Zoji only. You will be able to pay in Zoji for these things, right? So let's say IDO for MBLK, the public IDO, you will be able to pay, you buy MBLK using Zoji. And most likely Zoji only in the beginning. So for at least the first allocation will be for Zoji. So there's a huge, reason to own Zoji as a token and to own Bezoge because you can wrap it to Zoji, because that will be the only way that you can get initial access to these NFT sales and also to the MBLK pre-sale, the public pre-sale. So and then also no tax on transactions. So we've said this before. No tax on transactions means you're not losing 2% every time you buy and sell. And we've had a few people asking the question. I like this. I like this from Graham. I didn't know Bitfront had their own chain. I don't even know what Bitfront is, to be honest. So, Polygon. This is great. This is a great one. But I need to stop reading these comments because I'm going to start laughing here. Right. So whoever is showing them on screen, please stop because I'm not going to be able to talk. I'm going to be laughing the whole time. But yeah, no tax on transactions. So this means the main question on this was you're not gonna lose the 2% on the transactions, but people are worried about losing the 2% when they wrap. The answer is yes, you do. Pardano. Oh dear. Right, so you will lose the 2% when you wrap, but the main thing is that if you were to trade on Uniswap. Oh my God! Please, guys, stop writing these comments. I'm gonna be struggling not to laugh the whole time. Basically, you're gonna lose 2% when you wrap. That is correct. But if you were to do a trade on Uniswap anyway, you would have been losing that 2%, right? So when you're essentially swapping to ETH on Uniswap, you would lose that 2% anyway. Sorry, I need to stop just looking at Benji because he's like giggling because he's on mute. He doesn't need to speak.
Sorry.
Right, no more jokes,
guys,
because you're gonna ruin the flow. You're gonna ruin the flow. Oh my God, I'm actually crying. Wait a second. Okay, so let me move on to the next slide. Okay, and last but not least is more exchange friendly. So because of the no tax, because there's no meme with Zoji, it's much more friendly with exchanges from all the discussions that we've had before. So That's the last thing. You can see Mike James laughing in the comments. Great. Okay, game development. I'm gonna be, now I can put myself on mute, and Benji can be the one that has to fight through laughing at the comments. So that's the main thing with Bezoge. I mean, soon is the correct word, but I think, as I said, it should be first week in December for sure. It was only delayed because of the audit, and we wanted to make sure that the token, and well, it's not just that it's the token contract that was audited, it was also the bridge that was audited, and the wrapper contract. So there's three aspects of what's launching, and in order to, we could have just, the token contract is a pretty standard token. We did add some functions to it for security reasons, but the main the main reason that we couldn't just launch it without having the wrapper, because let's say we could just add the liquidity and the tokens. The main reason is we actually need the wrapper and the bridge ourselves in order to have the token available on 3 different chains. I like Mike James. I like this. Are we having our own chain? Bezoge chain. Sounds like a good idea, Mike. Sounds like he's a smart man. But yeah, I mean, we need the wrapper in order for us to wrap our own Bezoge into Zoji to provide liquidity. And we also need the bridge in order to move our tokens onto chain A and chain B to provide liquidity on those exchanges as well. So that's why. Okay, game development. Benji, the floor is yours.
Yeah, sure. So I think what we can show you guys first, like what was the focus of the development this past couple of weeks was mostly the beta, making the game work on beta quite smooth, like and adapting a little bit like the game mechanics to it. And so we can show, there is a video.
Yeah, I can show the video. Should we show the video? Which video do you want?
The beta, the mobile video. There is one that called I think LOB mobile.
Oh, it's here. I've got it.
Is it possible to play it without the sound? Because the sound might not be great. But it's fine.
Yeah, I can play it without the sound.
Okay. So we see that the game works well on mobile. The frame rate is pretty good. The controls work. You can like enter the game, set up your characters. There's of course a few tweaks for the controls. We'll have to improve and like some stuff for the layout. But I think there's lots of things that have been improved. And in the future, what we kind of want to do is to sync the game a lot for the control. You see some. Yeah,
there's a little bit of a bug with it being stuck.
There's always like a bit of bugs and stuff, but like this is kind of the goal is to kind of keep the game working on both sides. I mean, actually, this is not the very last version that was taken a few. It's a build from a week ago, okay. And we've already improved a few of those things, but like and this works in the same version as the rest of the game, so you could play this. Basically with the beta, and you could play with other people that are on PC, and things will work. And I think that will be a lot of fun to play on mobile.
I want to know whose beautiful fingers are.
Nicely polished nails. No, it looks really good, Benji. It's exciting. I'm very excited for the mobile beta to come out.
Yeah, I think I hope.
Do we have the frame rates? What are the frame rates that you understand?
It depends on the mobile. I think from the one I've seen was, I think we had like about 40 frames per second on the demo I've seen. It depends on the phone. I mean, even on this demo, we had a pretty good frame rate, and actually we're, I think, in medium settings. So like the same as PC, basically the same game as PC, medium settings. So that's and it runs well on a good, like a phone from a couple of years. I mean, it's not the most recent phone, mid-range. So yeah, I mean, maybe on like lower end phones, it could be, you would have to play in lower settings, but the goal is to keep it at least at 30 FPS for like as many phones as possible. So
No, it's
and so it's
really good.
Yeah.
It's like really good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Like we were like, I mean, we've added a lot of things since the last time we've really focused on the mobile, and it was good to see that basically, even though there's much more things in the game right now than there was before, it's more like the performances didn't really change, and the game still runs really well on mobile.
Because we're actually running on a much better looking map now as well. The shaders are completely different. Everything is completely different.
Yeah. The new map. I mean, actually, that's something is like since in the new map we really thought about performance kind of from the start, and actually it's kind of from what we've tested, it's actually better than the previous map. Even though it looks much better, you have better performances on it. So it should run. I think the game should really, especially on mobile. I mean, it would be. The game should look as good as like a really like a kind of AAA game that is on mobile because it works well on this platform. So at least that's the goal. And yes, so I think for this, we're excited to show it. I think we'll test it a bit more internally. There's still a few things we need to polish on it before we can send a build. But I think the goal is to have at least for one test session, send the build to everybody, like to sell the build on mobile, and at the same time probably we'll have the beta on the PC, and so people can play on both platforms. And so we'll see if there is any issue, but there's no reason for it to be any issue because like right now it's already kind of cross-platform because the server is running on Linux and the player was on Android, so it should be cool. I see some people saying like one iOS in the chat. That's a good question. Actually, it's technically it wouldn't be an issue to be on iOS. It just depends on the platform, but I think Apple is more open right now for crypto games.
Yeah,
so
I would say we can certainly push to iOS very soon. We have a company account. We can once we launch on Android, we can also launch on iOS on Test Flight. Test Flight should be completely fine on iOS. I don't think there'll be any issues with that.
Yeah,
it should be completely fine because we don't have any requirements to own NFTs or to buy NFTs or use crypto in the game to play it. We should be completely fine for iOS. So the game should be available on both iOS and Android. I'm pretty confident of that. Android is 100%, but iOS is of course dependent on Apple approving you. But Test Flight should be no issues.
Yeah, exactly. And even on PC, I mean, the fact that the game is not is like a blockchain, but it doesn't force you to is on chain, but like doesn't force you to use blockchain, like to use a wallet to connect anything to play the game. So maybe that could open a few platforms. But of course,
we're looking into it. We may actually be able to put the game on Steam.
Yeah.
So these are all quite exciting things that we weren't really going to talk about on this AMA. But after speaking to some people, I actually think we can get the game listed on Steam. It should be possible. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty confident we can get it listed on Steam. I'm pretty confident.
Yeah. So I think that should be good. Like for the new weapon skills, we've added some in the game. So each weapon is having like progressively we're adding new weapon skills, and new weapons are getting new skills, like new special attacks. And right now there are like two new ones. So there are 2 videos you can show, Steve. Weapon skill, either of them would be good.
I don't have the. I'll get them in a minute.
Oh.
We'll carry on, and I'll get them. If
okay, sure.
Where are they? And I can upload them. Sorry, I didn't know about that.
Okay, yeah. For the so we can check that. We can check that later. We've also added like groups of enemies on the map. It's not I mean, it's working, but it's not on these updates. But that's was kind of an issue in the game, that it was like it tended to not be challenging enough, like especially for players who have been like playing a lot during the beta. And because you were always fighting one enemy, so if you figured out a few things, you could kind of always survive. And I think that would be a lot more fun, like to have like groups of enemies that spawn randomly on the map, like just like the enemies right now that like spawn one. But instead of being one by one, they can be group of them. They will kind of walk together, and if you attack one of them, the other would react. And so it makes it quite a lot harder, like to fight them as a group, and you kind of have to strategize, group with other players to attack them, and yeah, that should make things quite a lot more interesting. And yeah, like if you attack like 2-3 like huge dudes like that, I think you kind of in trouble.
Oh, I think you're gonna be screwed if you. I was gonna say those enemies look really, really hard to kill, and
yeah,
I mean, they are hard to kill. So 3 of them would be impossible.
Yeah, it's basically. I mean, you need to have like a group of players, and maybe like in this case, I think it would make more sense to have like a tank, some healing and stuff. So I think it should make things interesting.
Okay, I have the weapon skills videos for you, so we can.
Cool.
I'm uploading them right now, but here's number 1. Is this the right video, Benji?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. So this is a special attack. Some weapons will have it. You hit the ground, and it does like a big area attack. And so like the goal is to have for each
Earth clap, is that right?
Yeah, Earth clap.
And so the other one is overweight smash.
Yeah.
It's this one.
Interesting name. And yeah, this is pretty cool, and that's like I think that should be like the gameplay becomes quite a lot more interesting, especially since this attack. I mean, there will be some balancing and stuff, but right now it causes like a lot of damage, and I think it should make things interesting. And we're also adding the same type of.
And this one is looking really cool.
It looks pretty cool, yeah, like on the ground, and we're adding these similar attacks to the enemies, and so it will make them more interesting to fight. I mean, it's also harder to kill because they will throw some attacks like that, make some AoEs, and if you have like a group of enemies, some are like throwing stuff at you, some are attacking you like different ways. I mean, I think it will be challenging, and it will make the combats a lot more interesting.
Someone is saying AoE range needs to be larger. Maybe that's for a higher level effect. Because you don't know, this could be a low level effect. Let's see.
Yeah.
So the groups of enemies, well, as I said, they're already in the game. They're just not on the most recent update. They'll be on the next build.
Yeah.
We have the new AI as well. I know that the team has been working on the AI, the new enemy AI. Is that already integrated?
In the last build, it's not fully. It didn't change completely. I mean, maybe there were like a few small changes, but the structure of it is done, and internally, like we're adding things for that.
Yeah, because
like more content attacks like this.
The main feedback from a lot of the people I remember has been about the enemy's been too easy to kill, right? Because they don't. So what we're doing in the AI is we have different key points, I guess you can call them, kind of like keyframes in the combat. When enemies reach certain percentages of health, or you deal a certain amount of damage to them, they're gonna, or just based on a time, whatever it is, there's different AI, and they will essentially do like AoE attacks. They'll do spells. They'll run away. They'll kick. They'll trigger certain events. And so the combat won't be so linear. It won't just be like hit, and just wait until they die, right? They'll be, you hit them 3 times, and then they like smash you so hard that you can't hit them, right? And things like that will make the combat a lot more exciting. And that's what typically is in a lot of other games as well. So that'll make the combat feel a lot more difficult, because right now the thing that makes it so simple, I guess, is that the enemies don't react. So we have a lot of more reactions, that they'll be more reactive, and the AI will be a lot better on the combat with the enemies.
Yeah. Also, there's like right now a new feature for the in-game screenshots. I should have shown like the shortcut for it, but it's basically if you press Shift, Alt, and O, or Shift, Alt, and P, you can we'll show it somewhere. We'll write it down, I think, in some posts on socials, so don't worry. But basically, it will create a screenshot from the game and save it. And if you use Shift, Alt, and P, I think, or O, it will basically, one of the two will create a screenshot that has no UI on it. So basically, you'll have a really clean screenshot of the game. And I think that's kind of been a feature that a lot of people have been wanting. I think even for us internally, it's really convenient to have. And yeah, I think we'll be able to have maybe more screenshots from the community and share them, maybe do some contests from it, since we will be able to have like really clean ones.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it'd be nice to see people's the screenshots of the world without the UI. That's something that would be really nice.
Yeah, because as well, I mean, we can already make like nice in-game images, but it's not as nice. I mean, when you have the UI and everything, it's not great for sharing.
And as you mentioned, Farva is going to be launching some sort of like a contest for best screenshot. Also, there's the actual screen recording as well. Is that right, Benji? It's been added in.
Yes. There's also a screen recording feature. So if you press F1, you start. Basically, you start the recording. F2, you stop the recording, and it records the game. There are maybe like a few tweaks you need to do. I mean, it requires quite a lot of performance, so you kind of have to. It can be like a little bit laggy depending on your computer, but we'll see if we can optimize this. But like it should already be pretty good to have to use in the game, and we'll show you guys how to use it.
Yeah.
I think for that, the screenshot is super convenient. I think the recording is also really nice to have. If you have good performance on your computer, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. So yeah, F1 to start, F2, and then we like the saved screenshots are next to the game files, but we'll show you guys the path. Yeah, and also we're doing like a stream this Friday. We don't know exactly what we'll do, but I think it will be. I'm sure we'll do something fun. Maybe something. I don't know. We have a few ideas. Maybe some potions and stuff.
Benji, with the title of the stream.
Oh, the title of the stream? I don't know exactly yet. I don't know exactly what will be done.
It's about you. Will Benji be free?
Oh, yeah. Will I be free? Yeah, because I'm actually, I mean, you guys cannot see here, but I'm actually in some sort of minuscule room that is like kind of a prison cell.
In the Bahamas,
you're in a prison cell in the Bahamas, Benji. Is that where you're streaming from?
Exactly. There's like there's even a lock here, and yeah, no, that's
okay. So I have been told by Malcolm I am to pause the deck when we get to this next stream Friday 2nd slide. So I'm going to pass it over to Malcolm and Farwa to take it from here. But I'm pretty excited. Just to sum up the game development, I'm pretty happy to see the mobile version. I've been very busy the last few weeks. I've been a little bit out of office because I've been relocating to Dubai, as a lot of you will know. So I'm catching up a lot this week. But it's incredible to see what the team's done with the mobile game. I'm excited to see people actually playing on mobile, because I think that's going to make it a lot more convenient for people to join in the beta testing as well. You know, if people can just pick up their phone, even then when they're not available, you know, because I know people like Mike James are constantly traveling. I know he's driving around on a truck right now. So a lot of the beta testers will be able to join when they're on mobile, right? They might be out and about, but they just park their car up and sit and play on the side of the road. You know, I think it's going to be a lot better for people to test. So I'm excited for people to start playing on mobile, especially seeing as that's where I believe 90% of our players will be. So it's really exciting to see the mobile version running smoothly. And also it's something that I will say is it's actually a big achievement for the team to get the game running so smoothly on mobile is not as easy as it might look. it might seem like it's just a very basic game, but actually the map being as big as it is and as complex as it is with that many players and running on cross-platform on PC and mobile at the same time has been a lot of work. It's not like it's a simple task to get the game to run on mobile. So the team's done a really good job on that, and I'm excited to start seeing people playing it. Okay, so Malcolm and Farwa, do you have something? You have something that I'm not allowed to show on the next slide. I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Steve. So Farwa's been working with Benji, who announced in the last AMA that we've been working on the new Bezoge model, which is going to coincide with the ETH migration, which we're working on. And Farwa has something to share that she wants to put up on screen next.
Okay, Farwa, you want to take it from here then? Will I go to the next slide, or do you have an intro to make before I go to the next slide?
Yeah, I think we should go to the next slide. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. We can, yes. We can.
Something's coming! Okay, guys. Something is coming. What's coming, you guys have guesses, and you guys let us know in the comments. You can later on socials as well. But definitely, you all can see that something's coming. You can also read puzzle. That's it. I cannot tell you more information. But it's awesome to hear from someone who can actually guess it right. That'd be really cool. That's it. We cannot really share a lot of details. But,
yeah, it looks like...
really
what
awesome
could it be? What could it be, Farwa? What could it possibly be?
Yeah, I don't know.
What I want to know is how many pieces are in the jigsaw? How many pieces are in the jigsaw? Can we at least tell them that? How many pieces?
Is that even a jigsaw? I don't know.
Is it a jigsaw piece? Oh, I don't even know. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
It's a big number. You have to find out those pieces. So not every piece will be shared in the most obvious place. So you have to keep your eyes, your ears, everything open and stay tuned. So, yeah.
Okay, so Farwa, your connection is quite bad, but let me explain. I think Farwa was saying they wouldn't be necessarily shared in the most obvious of places. We're not going to just drop them all on Twitter one every day. That's not how it's going to work. Keep an eye out on all of the different social channels, Discord, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere, Telegram, everywhere, right? So
yes,
they won't just be all posted on somewhere like this. This one will probably, I don't think this one will be shared anywhere else other than here either, if I'm correct. So keep an eye out.
So this is the first piece that we're sharing right now. We've not shared it anywhere before.
Yeah. Mike James, she is the worst. She's worse than Steve at teasing us. Yeah, true. It's Christmas time. Give us something, Grover. We're giving you something. You can see it on the screen.
So Grover, we can tell you that we're definitely going to share the whole thing with you before Christmas. So that's going to be a Christmas gift for you. But just stay tuned.
Okay. Right. I think that's enough time on this slide. Let me move on to the next. So mega giveaway. This sounds interesting.
For the mega giveaway, the one we had last week, Silver Bee won. Congratulations, guys. Can we have a drum roll for Silver Bee?
Sorry, my wife is looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? You're sitting on the other side of the screen and I'm just smacking the desk like this.
So congratulations, Silver Bee. I'm glad. He messaged us. He was really happy. And for the next giveaway, we'll be launching it tonight. For some people, it's probably going to be tomorrow. But again, just stay tuned to our socials. And it's super simple. You just have to go, log in, and participate and win. It's so simple. So as we've already, we kind of like keep saying that eat, sleep, and play Legends of Bezoge. Now we can have a new routine that's just go to the mega giveaway, participate and win. So yeah. we can move on to the next slide.
I second that, Farwa.
Yeah.
Next slide. Memezogi Contest.
So for a lot of people, so there are a lot of memes about the Memezogi Contest winner and the announcements, and some of them are really hilarious. But guys, since the number of entries we had and the quality, that was so good that we think that we should take some more time to critically analyze every single entry. And for the very same reason that we've decided that the announcement of the winner will be made on the mid of December. And there's some extra surprises which are related to Benji and Samuel. I don't think we should just reveal them right now, but they'll definitely come and make it even more exciting for the one who wins. So yeah, that's it. Now you don't have to make memes about us not announcing. It's definitely going to be in the mid of December. So I think we can agree Steve is a bad influence. Yeah.
I'm more interested in this comment here. When cat and a trolley.
Yeah, get in trolley.
That's.
I think.
I mean, the main question is, when is Cat and Trolley Army going to come? I feel that should really be a boss battle.
I actually have a story about cats. I went to view a house the other day, and I went out to the balcony, and in the garden next door was a cat that looked exactly the same as Benji's cat, and it was staring at me like with an evil stare, and then it started like running at me. It looked like it wanted to kill me, and it looked exactly like Benji's cat.
Yeah, my cat does that too. Yeah.
It just looked at me from down and up to the balcony, like, "What are you doing here? Like, you shouldn't be here." So some cats we should definitely have some cats in trolleys that just stare at you. You come around,
Yeah.
maybe you're in a dark cave and you come around the corner and the cats just look at you like there's like 10 cats just all looking at you. And then as you walk, they just continue to look at you. They just constantly stare at you. This would be quite funny, I think.
Yeah.
Just a wall of cats.
That's really
Anyway,
cool.
This is
yeah.
a discussion for the brainstorming for the whiteboard session.
Sure. About that, I actually feel like the Memezogi Contest, what we are planning to do is once we integrate the new Bezoge, because we kind of want to integrate the updated version of the Bezogis before doing it, because otherwise we might have to redo it. We will integrate the winner of the Memezogi Contest on stream. I mean, there might be a couple of winners that will integrate. That will add to the game, and we'll do it with Samuel on the stream. So yeah. I cannot announce exactly the date because it will depend on whenever we release the last version of the Bezoge, but like that should be fairly soon.
Okay, so good. I mean, I'm excited for all of these things. Good job on the Memezogi contest, everyone. We had some of the entries were absolutely incredible. So to sum it up so far, the main things are the mobile version is working very well. Should be released, I think, pretty much on schedule. We have a huge. We didn't announce it. We have a huge update coming to the Zoji account, your Zoji account, like the Zoji hub, as we call it internally. Huge update coming to that with the wrapping, the bridge, swap functions, everything that you do within the game and within the ecosystem will all be happening through the Zoji hub. So huge updates to that internally that Malcolm mentioned briefly that is required for Zoji launch. And then Zoji launch, now that the Certic audit is almost finalized, we just have to tick everything off with them as the final checks. We should be good to launch that first week of December. A little bit behind schedule, I do apologize for that, but there were some changes that we needed to make on the audit that we wanted to make sure it was as secure as possible. Again, minor changes, but we wanted to make sure we basically wanted to fix every single thing that Certic said was a minor issue. And now it's pretty much perfect from our perspective. Okay, so maybe we can move on now to the Q&A. I'm going to speed run it so we can maybe then bring some people up after. So by Bezoge Babes, please explain in simplistic terms possible how the in-game economy is sustainable. The in-game economy is sustainable because the highest earnings in the game are towards the end of the game. This incentivizes the lower earners in the game, the early level players, to reinvest everything that they earn back in, to spend it in-game to get to the end. And it also encourages people to then buy tokens from the secondary market in order to deposit them into the game, to spend them on weapons and armor to level up faster. So by putting the earning towards the end of the game, it basically incentivizes people to deposit and spend money in the game in order to get to the higher earnings. So what this does is it means that there should be more people depositing than withdrawing, because it's not possible to create a play to earn game without having the players depositing, right? Players will have to deposit and put money into the ecosystem in order for there to be money to take out of the ecosystem. Otherwise, you have an ecosystem that's just constantly dropping. So that's the main difference. That's the main reason that it's sustainable. Nick has just walked into the office. I was wondering who is walking into the office. But yeah, that's the main reason that it's sustainable. Is the game is designed to incentivize people to spend more than they overall as an average across the whole game, not necessarily every single player. Some people will take out more than they put in, but the game is also designed to be primarily a fun game, right? So the goal is for the game to be played because it's fun, not played because people want to take money out of the ecosystem. That's just not sustainable in any game. Michael Chiola, when can we test PvP Arena and Xerxogia? I'm just going to answer that with soon. I'll say Q1 next year. Q1 next year. Hopeful, when Sex Exchange listing? Exchanges will announce that. We won't announce that ever, as we always say. Michael Chiola, 2 questions this week, Michael. When can we test the summoning in beta? Summoning won't be in beta. Summoning will be on the website, and we're actually currently working on it. We want it to be a really fun experience in WebGL on the website, in the Zoji Hub, in fact. Essentially where you're going to... There's some exciting things with it. One thing that I'll tease that Malcolm's going to get annoyed with me because I always leak things that I'm not meant to leak. But we will most likely open up summoning early and allow people to pay with Zoji. So we will open up summoning before MBLK is available, and we will use Zoji to do that. And the way that we will do that, we'll go into more detail about that later. But basically, you'll be able to summon using Zoji initially. So that's actually something that I mentioned earlier. There'll be a lot of things added to the ecosystem that before MBLK is available, will allow Zoji to be used. So yeah, we'll give more details on that soon. John, are Bezoge and the new wrap token linked? As in, if the price of one goes up, will that mean the other will too? Technically, yes. Not directly, John. We've discussed this a few times. They're not directly linked, but of course, if the price of one goes up, sorry, there's people walking into the office. Someone who usually comes onto the AMA and asks some questions, actually, an active member of the community just walked into the office. So basically, if the price of Zoji goes up and the price of Bezoge doesn't, then either you could wrap your Bezoge and sell Zoji at a higher price, or you could buy Bezoge at a cheaper price to push the price up. So either way, these are what this is what we discussed as being arbitrage opportunities. So when there's a percentage to be made for free, as you can imagine, right? If Bezoge is trading at, let me just put it in simple numbers, $1 and Zoji is trading at $2, then of course, if you buy Bezoge, you can sell it for double the price, right? So if Zoji is sitting at double the price of Bezoge, you could technically just buy Bezoge and sell it and make 2x your money. So that's what we call arbitrage opportunities. So the price will be linked due to these arbitrage opportunities because you can wrap Bezoge into Zoji and then sell your Zoji, or vice versa. You could unwrap if Bezoge is trading higher than Zoji, you could unwrap your Zoji into Bezoge and then sell the Bezoge, right? So either that, or just people are just new holders are coming into the market and they see that Bezoge is trading lower than Zoji, they'll buy Bezoge instead, right? So there's always going to be that gap. It's exactly like if you had wrapped ETH and ETH, If wrapped ETH was trading at 5% lower than ETH, people would be buying wrapped ETH instead of ETH, because you can unwrap it at 1-to-1. It's exactly the same as that. So because 1 billion Bezoge equals 1 Zoji, it always makes sense to for the prices to be the same. Although, that being said, because of the redistribution and the price of Zoji, it's not exactly 1 billion to 1. That will go up over time as the redistribution collects in the contract. So in future, let's say there's 2% more Bezoge in the contract than Zoji, then the price would be 1.02 billion to 1, not 1 billion to 1. In that case, Zoji will probably be trading at 2% higher than Bezoge. So just to give you an idea of that. But yeah, they should trade at the same price because of the arbitrage opportunities. Bill Bezoge, arbitrage trading in relation to Zoji being listed on different chains. Is it beneficial to the community or just holders with cash reserves? I think I just kind of answered that. It's beneficial to anyone. If you see one of the different tokens trading at a higher price, like I said, if Bezoge is trading 50% lower than Zoji, let's say you wrapped your 10 trillion, whatever it is, you'd wrapped your 10 trillion, you sold the Zoji. Now the prices are, let's say, 50% higher, right? Maybe then Zoji is trading 50% higher because you sold. You could then buy Bezoge again and repeat the process, right? So it doesn't matter how much you have. You could have 500 billion, right? And when you sell, the price is going to go down even less. So you could do that round trip more times. If you're going to sell your Zoji, you would have ETH, and then you buy Bezoge back with the ETH, and then wrap it again to Zoji, and then sell the Zoji again. Right, so it's beneficial to anyone, no matter how much money you have. It's not about having huge amounts of cash reserves. It's actually just about having the right token at the right time. Starview Farm. What are the official colors of the Bezoge? I'm talking about Hex, RGB. That's a good question. We should maybe make that a bit more of a public thing. I can't give you that answer. I don't even think Benji can give you that answer because the new Bezoge is changing a little bit.
They will change a little bit for the new Bezoge, but slightly. Yeah.
But you can take a screenshot and use the eyedrop tool on Photoshop and find the estimate colors anyway. For now, Michael Chiola, three questions from Michael Chiola. When will there be an UI update to zogilabs.io? I think I covered that. There will be a whole there is a whole overhaul, actually. It's already done. The entire UI is done, and that will be launched with part of it will be launched with Zoji token.
Yeah. So there's two parts to zogilabs.io. There's the hub, which is the thing that everybody is using to download the game launcher, the Zoji hub. But then there's just zogilabs.io, which is just a kind of corporate website, like our studio website, which has got a whole UI design as well, which we'll be launching before the end of the year. We might have a homepage with the update of the Zoji hub. But yeah, that's all work in progress at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there will be a landing page for Zoji Labs as well. Yeah, that's one thing. Okay, Mall of 1974. When will the game go 100% live? The public date on that is Q1 2023. That has not changed. John, if one wraps Bezoge coin, does it now get pulled from the Bezoge pool, meaning that it is deflationary? Yes, technically. Technically, it's yes and no. It's yes and no. It is removed from the Bezoge pool while the token is still wrapped. But of course, it's not permanently removed from the Bezoge pool, because you could unwrap Zoji and add Bezoge back to the circulating supply. So everything that is wrapped to Zoji will be removed from the Bezoge circulating supply, yes. But it is not permanently removed. It will be impermanently removed, right? It's possible to unwrap, so those tokens could come back into supply. So most likely it won't. I think most people will hold Zoji instead of holding Bezoge. I think a lot of people will wrap and hold Zoji instead. But of course, it's still possible that people could unwrap and put it back into supply. But you'll be able to at any time look at the Zoji wrapper token, the Zoji wrapper contract, and see how much is there. And that'll give you an idea. You'll be able to see exactly how much is removed from circulation. Paul, when open beta, when full game release, both are still pretty much on track. I don't think we have any updates to give on that. I think open beta, we should pretty much move into that probably next month, because the game is a lot more stable now. There's no reason why we can't ascend. The only difference between open beta and closed beta, as we've said before, is there's a waiting list to get into closed beta. Open beta will still be test sessions. It won't be open 24 hours a day. That's not what open means. It doesn't mean the game is on 24 hours a day. It will be on more and more leading up to the main launch of the game, but still it will probably be test sessions. Actually, not probably. It will be test sessions, and we'll restrict the amount of content that is in the game during beta testing as well. Beta testing is to make sure the game is running smooth. It is not to make sure that everyone can experience all the in-game content before the game is launched. We will most likely, before the end of beta, we won't actually have all the content in the game in beta. And you will have a whole load of new content that will only be added to the game for the actual game launch. Otherwise, if you've already completed all the quests in beta, why do you want to go complete them all again in the real game? That's the main reason. So we've been asked quite a few times why there's not a lot of content, why there's not quests and things to do in the game. We don't want to add too much of that content before the main release of the game, because it's going to mean that everyone that has tested the game and players of the game that research it will already see all of the gameplay before they play it themselves. And that would make the game a little bit boring. So I think everything is still on track. Nothing is behind schedule. So when will bridges be announced? I don't know what that question means, to be honest. I think you mean chains. When will chains be announced? Before Zoji launch is the answer. Malcolm has some, I don't know the dates myself. I know that they're scheduled. If it was up to me, I would have told you on this AMA what the two chains are. But I'm not
sure. Nobody knows. Under lock and key, just in case that gets a hold of it.
Yeah, exactly. I know the chains, but I can't tell you what chains they are until. But the bridge will also be launched right after Zoji, so it may not be on the same day as Zoji token is launched, but it will launch. The tokens will launch on 3 chains at the same time, and the bridge will come shortly after. Are there any plans for TV commercials when promotion starts? We have actually got in touch with some people for TV commercials, but I can't give any guarantees on that. But definitely,
yeah, I mean, from paid, we'll certainly be observing where the attention lies and where the best ROI is. And sometimes that is on traditional platforms, paid, billboards, subway, underground stations, things like that are actually a really good deal in times when there's a lot more attention on digital platforms. So yeah, we'll be going everywhere when the time is right. Like, we don't really do much right now. We do a couple of search ads for building our email database, but when the game comes out, that's when everything's really going to turn on, and we're just going to really saturate the market as much as possible with game content. Yeah.
And so Ernesto's got it right. We're launching on Polygon and Bantam. There we go. But yeah, TV commercials are definitely something we would look into once the game launches. But again, we'll be targeting the highest converting channels. Okay, Bill Bezoge. Will leaderboard placements be rewarded monthly or weekly placements? Good question. Yes is the answer.
I'd say 100%. Yeah, definitely. That's something we can. We are working on the first tournament. We wanted to let the leaderboard be in game for I think a week, just to make sure it was all functioning correctly. And we're gonna announce the first tournament, but there will be prizes for being on the leaderboard. Even though what Steve said was you're just testing
cash prizes.
I think so. What
is my computer is getting delivered in a couple of days, so the cash prizes I'll be competing.
Yeah. I know we haven't added a lot, as Steve alluded to, we haven't added a lot of quests and game content. So one of the ways that we want to incentivize people to really test the game to death is by having the leaderboard and having tournaments for like highest kills, highest block turns, most area explored on the map, things like that. Yeah. So watch out for that stuff coming out.
Shiny, when finally a question from Shiny that is not what about pets? When pets? When weapon airdrops and weapon mint. So weapon airdrops will be at the same time as the weapon sale. So when we do the weapon sale, we still have the snapshot for the weapon airdrops to drop out. We will drop them to people, and then the weapon mint. As I said earlier, that will be available. I don't know that I can't say the date. I know the date, but I can't say it. We'll most likely be doing weapon packs, like mystery boxes of weapons that we'll be selling. We have some really, and the team, Samuel and the team have put some incredible artwork together and 3D animations for the boxes, for the mystery boxes. They look incredible. It's going to make me want to buy a lot of them, actually. So the mystery boxes look incredible. We will do mystery boxes, and you'll be able to buy them using Zoji token. So all the more reason to make sure you wrap to Zoji, and to make sure you buy some Zoji when it's released. Definitely, you'll be able to buy mystery boxes with Zoji. Could a comprehensive overview be given concerning the necessary steps from here until full game, or like a step-to-step guide? Just I'm not asking for a timeline to find dates here. Just want to know the logical order of things to come. It's a long question, Paul. I think we've kind of already outlined that several times. We won't necessarily post some very specific things, but we will update the white paper. That will have a more clear timeline with deadlines of, not deadlines, not necessarily a timeline, but key steps in order to get to full launch. One of them is mobile. One of them is the chain integration. All of these things. Half of the chain integration has already been done. Like on the read side, I would say the read side of the chain integration is mostly done. We've not done the write side, right? There's reading and writing, right? There's reading the NFTs. So things that are already on chain, we already read that and we've integrated that into the game through the Zoji Labs account. But the writing side is not done. And the writing side is where you earn something on server and you mint it yourself onto chain, right? That side of the things is not done yet. So at the moment, we are reading everything from chain. So anything that is already on chain is fully integrated into the game, essentially. And we have the systems in place for that. For minting and the write side of things, we've developed a lot of it, but it's not integrated yet. So that's one of the other things. So we can put something together maybe and add to the white paper to make it clearer. But the main things are that, and the other thing that is important is the content. So internally, we want to actually have the game ready from our perspective next month. The goal next month is for us is have everything ready so that we could potentially launch it if we need to, right? If we want to, but we spend 3 months at least. Well, not necessarily 3 months, a certain amount of time in the next few months on adding content to the game, making the game as entertaining as possible. Because essentially the game is very close to being launchable if it had all the content in it to make it fun, right? That's the main thing that's missing right now. So we want to spend 3 months at least on the fun part, so that we can make sure the game is ready by Q1 with a whole load of engaging content in it. Okay, AG Photos UK. How long until Blue Beginnings is launched after the game? There's no update on Blue Beginnings. I can't give any update on that right now. Shiny, you all know the question. Yeah, okay. I think there'll be an update to pets soon. I don't know if the team are working on it, but I know it's in the pipeline because we've redone the Bezoge, we have to redo the pets at the same time.
Yeah. I think actually there's an update also on the integration in the game. We've been doing some testing. They look really cool. Maybe we can show something in the next 2 weeks. It's not with the new model, like not the model yet. I mean, because there will be like some small changes on the models, like just to fit better the style with the new Bezoge. So that should come after the new Bezoge, but like the behavior of the pets in the game is already really cool. I mean, like when you walk around and there's like a little pet following you in the map, it's amazing. I mean, it doesn't like have like right now it doesn't really have an impact on the gameplay. We're thinking of some ways to integrate it, but like it's already fun to just like.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it has an impact on the gameplay. It matters that you look cool if you have a pet following you around.
Exactly, and it's just it just like follows you, just goes to sleep if you're not moving and do stuff like that. That's cool.
Okay,
I'll show you guys.
I've not even seen that yet, so that's something that I didn't know.
We made a recording. I wanted to show today, but like the guy who made the recording actually like couldn't connect with you. He's also like a computer and stuff. But maybe in 2 weeks we can show that for the next day.
I mean, we have to keep Shiny waiting. We couldn't just give him everything in 1 week, right? I mean,
no.
Okay, I hope all the best for you guys and support and invest strong, even if Bitcoin went more. Okay, thank you very much. That's not a question, but thank you very much.
Yeah, there's a couple nice just pieces of feedback people shared that we put in at the end.
Michael Cappy, a simple KuCoin listing would be fantastic. I think we can expect to see a market cycle bottom in the next few months. And a nice timely listing will make a lot of holders very happy. I'd love the game progress. I'd like to turn that into some gains. Yeah, we have some. I'm not going to talk about central exchange listings. We do have some. I think we have some very exciting updates coming in the next few weeks. Hopefully before the next AMA, we have one very exciting update. Certainly before Zoji is launched, when you see, what, you'll get an idea. I'm not going to say too much. Anything I say will give it away. But when you see what chains we're announcing, you'll get an idea, as I've already said. J Crypto, there were an AMA every day for the last year, and there are literally no questions to ask, but still waiting for the game to be live. Okay, I don't know what to say to that one, to be honest. But thank you, J Crypto. I mean, there's a lot of
I think one thing that we always, I guess, talk about internally.
You're muted, Malcolm.
Yeah, there was just a Tannoy announcement. I didn't think the community would appreciate listening to that. One thing I would stress is that you can look at some fun small games and think, yeah, you can make those quite quickly. But then when you look at sophisticated RPGs, they take like on average 5 to potentially 10 years to make. So I think you should consider that. And look at like the volume of development that we've done. It's really astounding. So yeah, we've had a lot of AMAs, and that's because we want to update everybody and keep everybody in the loop. But like we're also building a huge game with a 30 million square meter map. Not your typical crypto game that's out there. So yeah, it will come out when it's ready.
No, exactly. I mean, we're, like I said, I in the nicest way possible, we're not rushing things. We want to get things done well. You can see that with the Zoji launch. I do apologize that we said end of November and we didn't hit the deadline. But that's mainly because we wanted to be done right. And we needed CertiK to finalize the entire audit and for it to be 100% secure. And that's what's extremely important right now. And also, since we started doing the whole Zoji launch, the market has had a whole load of things going on, right? That you'll have seen with FTX, all these concerns around centralized exchanges having the funds available, funds being safe, all of these sort of things. So security was a major concern for us, especially with that happening. So that's one of the reasons for the delay as well. So there's been a lot going on with that. But yeah, we want to make sure we develop a really fun game. And I think that the technology that we have now and the functionality in the game is getting there to the point that it's almost ready from a release perspective, but then we need to create a lot of cool content. And the content and making the game more exciting with these different effects, like things that are content are like special abilities for the weapons. That's content, right? The quests, NPCs, all of these different effects that we have in the game, Even just having like overlay effects on the screen when you're doing like running, you have like a motion blur. All of these things are content, right? They're not just, when I say content, I don't just mean not adding any more functionality to the game. I mean focusing on things that really make the game actually more fun. And also, if we add too much content to the game right now, it won't be up to date. And if you know, like the main focus of our game is to have a game that is really up to date with the latest news. You know, it has the latest memes, has everything. Like the memes change on a daily basis, right? So we need to essentially have as much content as up to date as possible on game launch in order for it to be as viral as possible. That's the goal here. So we want people streaming it on day one and having content that's relatable. Things that are trending on Twitter that week, we want in the game already on day one. So yeah, just want to make that clear. Right, we'll do it. Let me do like literally another 5 minutes. We're over the schedule, but I'll go through some of the questions that we've starred, Malcolm. There's 9 of them. Let me just quickly go through these. On mobile, would it not be better to turn left and right and camera look both on left thumb movement? Potentially. It's a bit awkward. It's usually better if you can look with your right thumb and run around. But we could potentially have a lock function that it will lock the view in the direction the Bezoge is looking. We can maybe add that on mobile in the settings. For people that want it sort of to auto rotate, I think we could probably add an auto pan. Benji, you know what I'm talking about, right? Where the camera camera will look the same direction as the character. We can do that. That might make some people might like that, but I think it should be an optional function because some people might not like it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It would probably be quite useful actually, so that you don't have to keep moving the camera. But it's quite a standard thing. You have to move the camera.
In many games, it's really like that. I think in Genshin. So that's
yeah, it's really like very subjective. It's like the direction of your scroll wheel on your mouse. Like some like it natural, some like it like inverted, and it's like Marmite. It's like Marmite.
Well, I need it to go like that. Scrolling up is my finger going up.
Natural, like scroll up is up.
I do natural, yeah. But I know that some people that'll get on some people's OCD. That'll trigger some OCD. I don't like my finger going down and the screen going up. Anyway.
And there it is for crazy people. Only crazy people. I'll just put that out there.
I can see Benji's probably an inverted guy, so I can already see he's probably. Your finger's scrolling down to go down, Benji, right?
Yeah. I think it scrolls down for the go down. I mean, I didn't really think of it, but I think it's maybe a max thing to update in Bezoge.
It is, yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay, so Ernesto said there was a reason this was flagged. So how's Dubai? Dubai is great so far. I've only been here 4 or 5 days, enjoying it. And then the second thing is, did you bring your dolls with you? So for those that don't know the dolls, he means like my model toys that I usually have behind me on the stream. I did. I shipped both of them. They're on a boat right now. They should arrive around the end of December, middle of December, actually. I think the boat is scheduled to arrive on the 20th of December. So once they get through customs, I'll set up my own new office in my house. I have my own office in the house, so you'll see the next stream. I think the next stream I'll probably be in my office in the house, so you'll be able to see it. And then in a couple AMAs after that, I'll have the models behind me. Belarusian, do we still have an active Chinese office? Yes, we still have over 20 employees in the Chinese office. I think 25. The Chinese office is still very active. Majority of the development and art team are in China still, and we have managers there that are handling it. We have regular meetings with the Chinese office. I mean, literally daily meetings with the Chinese office. So, yes, we have 4 offices, in fact, if you include Benji in Switzerland. So we have office in China, 25 people. We have office in Dubai, I think currently about 6 people. We have the office in Pakistan, I think it's 12 people. And we have how many people in Switzerland, Benji? 6, 7?
Yeah, 6 in the office regularly, and sometimes 7.
Yeah, depending if Samuel.
Yeah.
Okay. So when NFT drop for beta testers? Yeah, I answered this already, Willis. You can rent a Bezoge at no cost. Okay, this is yes. This was an answer to someone's question. But that is correct. I think someone asked, do you need a character to play? Do you need an NFT to play? You do not. You can just click a button, rent one. You'll just earn a little bit less, and you'll give a portion of your earnings to the owner of the NFT. Okay, so do we need a Bezoge to play? Okay, this is that was the question. That was the question that was my answer to. Will the weapons NFTs be multi-chain? Yes, they will be. Any NFT that we have in the ecosystem, probably including Bezoge. I need to double check if that's possible. Other than maybe the Bezoge, everything will be available on multi-chain. For sure. I think that Bezoge can also be multi-chain as well. We just have it makes because of the earnings that you're able to withdraw as an NFT owner, it makes it a little bit more complex because the earnings have to be calculated on a centralized server if we have multi-chain. But we potentially can. So for sure, every NFT will be multi-chain, but maybe for the withdrawal of profits, you may have to have your NFT on ETH for the Bezoge. But that's something that we can fix that without it having to be on ETH. It is possible. So the Bezoges might be on multi-chain as well. Sorry if this has been covered. What's the latest on Shiba Inu in-game or for the game? We're not integrating Shiba as a token into the game, but we do have Shiba Inu as an enemy in the game. One of the enemies is a giant shib. I think we have the small shibs as well, Benji.
Yeah.
But they are integrated into the game. They're just not integrated as an in-game token. So, and then this was the last question. Do we have an active channel? Yes, we do. Okay. Yes, Mestov. Certic Audit does say 99% on their website. Correct. I like this, Jeffro. I like your positivity here. No comment on that. Okay, and the last question. Can we get Farwa some office furniture and a new mic so she doesn't sound like she's talking in Wembley Stadium?
Why would you guys show the comment?
No wonder you're called Stingy Steve. He always comes out when you ask about a new microphone.
So now that we're ending, we did buy a really nice microphone for the Pakistan office. Farwa just never uses it.
Is it?
See, I look at that face. That's because she knows that there's a really nice, high-quality microphone in the Pakistan office, and she just didn't plug it in.
Please wait for the next AMA. I'll just wait for the next AMA.
Next AMA, she's going to come on with like a DSLR. She's going to have the bokeh in the background, some RGB. It'll be amazing. Yeah. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. I think we'll end it there because it's an hour and 15 minutes. We'll try and keep it short so it's a bit less overwhelming for people. Thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Actually, we'll see everyone. We might be doing the next sessions on Twitter actually when we're all together. I think me, Malcolm, Zach, and Nick will all be in Dubai. And one of the people that is always on the sessions is sitting in the office right now as well. One of the original holders. He bought Bezoge on day one. A day one holder is just visiting the Dubai office. He's also usually quite active on the Twitter spaces. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. And we'll see you on the Twitter space. That's what I was asking Malcolm. Is it this week? Is there a Twitter space tomorrow?
Yeah, we should be able to do one. Okay. We'll let you know on social. We'll let you know on social if we're going to do a whiteboard session, but we haven't had one for 3 weeks, so we should do one soon.
Yeah. And Farwa, next time we'll have a nice microphone, and she won't sound like she's in Wembley Stadium.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Awesome.
Thank you guys. Bye.